I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at my website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Easy Come, Easy Go. And that is because today we are having a fabulous new moon at 18 degrees of Taurus. And this is a great new moon because there are 5 planets in Taurus right now. That's half of all the planets in the heavens, and they're only in one constellation. Taurus is the traditional ruler of the second house, of how you make your money and what you spend it on. And so all the things that Taurus represents can be highlighted right now. So, for instance, if you had a special plan or project that you've been working on really hard, this is a time when a payoff could occur, and that would be great for you. And you don't even have to be a Taurus, but it would just be that Taurus rules that second house of very hard work, and it's a sturdy earth sign, a somewhat possessive sign as well. And so they like their creature comforts. So if a plan or a project of yours has reached a culmination stage and you're sort of ready for the payoff, it could be a pretty good one right now. That would be great. So if money was your motive, that could be what could be easily coming in right now in the form of things that Taurus rules. For instance, Taurus rules investments. So maybe your investments can be paying off handsomely. And that is because there are 5 planets in Taurus, and boy, are they strong. And first of all, the ruler is there, Venus, at 11 degrees, and it is conjuncting the sun and the new moon, both at 18 degrees. So the ruler, Venus, is conjuncting the lights, the sun and the moon. But the moon is exalted in Taurus. So we have 2 very strong planets in Taurus, both at the same time. That hardly ever happens. And so the Venus, the sun and the moon are all conjuncting in one group, and then later on in the sign, Jupiter and Uranus are conjuncting. Jupiter is the planet of goodness, and Uranus is a malefic planet. It rules sudden, surprising change. And so this is a time when you could certainly experience the value of your investments going up or suddenly going down. But there are so many good planets in Taurus that this is a time that I think that you are certainly going to benefit from the hard work and sacrifice that you have done. And that payoff could come in the form of some nice money coming your way, or it could be some sort of benefit that could involve high-priced real estate. That's what Taurus rules. Or it could involve gourmet food and wine, because Taurus likes the best of everything. Or it could involve some sort of high-priced fashion, expensive clothes, or high-priced furniture or decorating items or art, which is what Taurus rules as well. And then it also can rule things that are very expensive in terms of benefits that can come your way. So that could be helping too, because Taurus trines the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn rules long-term benefits such as pension plans and investment funds that can be coming to you, or rewards that can be coming to you over a long period of time. Sorry, my voice is a little bit weak today. I don't know why. But anyway, all of these things can benefit you right now if money was your aim. And so this is a wonderful time for a payoff. Or this is a wonderful time to be enjoying the fruits of your labor, or a lavish lifestyle, or expensive travel. So, and that would be because perhaps you'd put a lot of work in, and maybe now you're getting a reward back or a payoff back. But at the same time, could anything mar this rosy picture right now? Well, there are 10 planets in the heavens, not just 5. But however, 5 of them are in just Taurus. the 10 planets are in the same 4 signs they have been in for a long time: Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. And so, since they're all in this group, and each sign represents a different element, it means that none of the planets are trining each other. And so we have to look at the strengths and the weaknesses that are going on as well. Well, we certainly know the strength is in Taurus. This is a monster new moon. And so all these benefits can be coming to you if money has been your aim. So that's great. But right behind the sign of Taurus are Mars, which is in Aries, and Mercury, which is in Aries as well, and Mercury is direct. But because these planets are behind the sign of Taurus, and particularly right behind them in Aries, it simply means that there can be a nagging problem behind the scenes that can perhaps delay or postpone a new start. Aries rules new starts that you have been wanting to make. And that nagging problem might be the result of a jealousy or envy or just trouble among people behind the scenes who want to be the boss. Aries likes to be first, and Mars is there. Their ruler is there. So there could be somebody else that wants to sort of do things their way, and even if it was work that you were doing, they may be jealous or envious of your good fortune right now and really want to make trouble for you. So that's going on. That doesn't detract from the wonderful advantages you can be enjoying for your hard work, but it could cause a problem behind the scenes. And then behind the sign of Aries are another 2 planets, Saturn and Neptune, the ruler of the sign, which are in Pisces. And Neptune is at that 29th degree of fate right now. And so that means there is the possibility that a precious dream can be sort of withering or slipping away due to lack of attention. Maybe you've been working too hard. And maybe you have been ignoring something that is really precious to you behind the scenes. And that Neptune at 29 degrees means that it's been in Pisces for a long time. It's not like it's not a new dream, it's an old dream. And, there may have been delays and obstructions, but now that Neptune is up to the 29th degree of fate, and it could slip away due to a lack of attention or something on, maybe you've just been too busy doing other things. And so there is the threat of losing that. And that would hurt you, particularly if it's very precious to you. And then behind those planets is Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius rules the future. Pluto now is the only planet that is retrograde. And it represents people in upper management or who are the boss of something. That could even represent a large corporation, government agency, institution, or even the head of a whole government. And since Pluto is retrograde, it means that there can be changes at the top in management, because maybe, in order to succeed in future plans, which is what Aquarius rules, you might have to shift management around a little bit or change management in order to fit future goals. And that could throw a little monkey wrench in the good life as well that you could be enjoying right now. And the reason why is because that Pluto in Aquarius is squaring all 5 planets in Taurus. And it's a strong planet because it's the co-ruler of another financial sign. And it is squaring Taurus, which is the financial sign that rules how you make your money and what you spend it on. And Scorpio rules financing or money coming in from any other source, but it rules credit, debt, loans, taxes, insurance, and inheritance as well. And so these things can be in conflict right now. And so anyway, that Pluto is squaring Venus, which is generally the indication of a betrayal somewhere around, but it may be necessary to change management in order to make future projects succeed. There could be a good reason for that. And then, or at least people can be thinking about that. And then it is also squaring the Sun and the Moon, and Jupiter, and Uranus in Taurus. So Could anything mar this rosy picture of your good fortune right now? I'm afraid so. Because the last thing, remember the show is titled Easy Come, and we've been talking about the good things that could come to you for your hard work. But it's also titled Easy Go. And the reason why is that there are 6 planets, Pluto in Aquarius and the 5 in Taurus, in fixed signs. And these 6 planets are opposing and squaring the other fixed signs of Leo and Scorpio. And so fixed signs don't budge. And so it simply means, since Leo rules gambling, it means that gamblers lose now. 6 planets squaring and opposing Leo, gamblers lose. And it also means, since Leo rules betting, it means that all bets are off right now. So I hope that you have been working steadily along and that you get a reward for that, or benefits, or recognition, or something like that. But at the same time, if you've been gambling with anything, all bets are off right now with 6 planets squaring and opposing the sign of Leo. That's not going to work. And then they're also opposing and squaring the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules debts. And so one way that, the money could be coming in, but it could just as easily be going out right now due to much higher costs. It isn't just going to the grocery store and paying a fortune for groceries. It can be that loans have to be repaid, possibly at a higher cost. Or debt can be rising and rising and rising, and that's got to be repaid. So costs are going up now. And there's almost nothing we can do to stop that. Because 6 planets in fixed signs squaring and opposing each other, that's 60% of all the planets in the universe. That's a lot. And I don't think we can exactly survive if we don't attend to, the problems that are rising and rising and rising. And so we've got to pay attention to those too. And that's why the show is titled Easy Come and Easy Go. And so what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Aries, for you. You could certainly want to be the boss right now, Aries, because Mars is in your sign. There was just a solar eclipse in your sign. Ooh, that's good for you. And Mercury is in your sign, but it is now direct. And so that simply means, Aries, that you can be deciding that you want to take charge of something right now. If it is your own new beginning, I would say go to it, Aries. And if you're wondering where the money's going to come from, I think you can almost open a door and walk right into it, because there are 5 planets, including the sun and new moon in Taurus, right ahead of your sun sign. And so if you don't have enough money to make a new start, Aries, you should go ask somebody for it. Because there could be people around that would be quite willing to listen to you right now, particularly if you are able to communicate very clearly about your new start. In other words, if you have some plan or a handout that you can show people, or a timeline that you've set up, that could be great. So you could find people to help you, and you could also find a little bit more money if you needed it. But actually, you need to make sure your plans are all worked out pretty well first, and you can do that right now. At the same time, there could be the possibility that if you're spending too much time on a new start, you may be neglecting a precious dream of yours that is withering away in one way or another. That might be all right with you, though, Aries, because Aries is best when they are making new starts. Your sign rules the first house of self. And so you really are best when you are going forward on and following your own plans and your own ideas. So I suggest that you really do that, Aries, and I think that you would be successful. And if you are saying, well, gee, there just isn't enough money because other people say that they have to do cost cutting right now. Well, you probably own something you could sell, Aries, and you could probably get a real good price. If it's valuable, you could get a real good price for it right now, because there would be other people with money that would be wanting to buy it. So you could raise funds just on your own if you wanted to, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. Well, this is just about the best new moon that you're probably ever going to have in your life, Taurus. And the reason why is that there are two very strong planets in your sign, besides the lights. And it is because Venus, your own ruler, is in your sign, and it is conjuncting the exalted moon, the new moon today. And when planets are exalted, it means they're at their very best. Your sign rules commercial real estate. So it rules shopping centers and office buildings and apartments and any kind of commercial real estate. And so with both your ruler Venus and the moon, which does rule real estate and is exalted in your sign, you could be able to make profit on some rather expensive property right now if you wanted to, because the sun is conjuncting that exalted moon as well. And then Jupiter is also in your sign, but it is conjuncting Uranus a little bit later in your sign. And Uranus is a planet of sudden surprising change. The one thing that you don't have going for you, surprisingly, is that there's no backup, because there's no planets in the other earth signs right now. There's nothing in Capricorn and there's nothing in Virgo. But what do you care, Taurus? You've got half of all the heavens, half of all the planets in the heavens just in your sign. You just couldn't ask for better planets than what you've got. So your relationships could be going pretty well right now because you have Venus and Jupiter in your sign. But I think that if you kept your mind on money right now, Taurus, that would be the best idea. Because as I explained to you, the title of the show is Easy Come. Well, that can be happening to you. You can be enjoying the benefits or the payoff from some hard work that you've been doing. And it could come in the form of high-priced things that you have the money to buy, so you go out and treat yourself. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Or you could be doing some lavish entertaining or taking a nice expensive trip. I think you could afford it all, Taurus. I would do that if I were you. But there are another 5 planets right behind your sun sign in Aries, Pisces, and in Aquarius, and they are causing problems for you behind the scenes. And so there can be somebody else who's jealous or envious of your success and wants to delay a new start for some reason, or just simply wants to sort of see that you don't succeed because they want to make their own new start. And maybe they sort of want to get you out of the way before they do make their new start. Who knows? And I think they're going to be successful at making a new start. So if I were you, I probably would go on vacation right now, Taurus, and simply enjoy your good fortune. And this would be a very good time for you, even though there are no planets in the other earth signs. This would be a very good time for you to sit down quietly by yourself and plan rewards for your loved ones as well. Taurus is the sign of the good provider. And so you probably have family members that you want to make sure their needs are taken care of. This will be a very good time for you, instead of just treating yourself, possibly to firm up your plans, long-range plans, for either yourself and your retirement, or else for your loved ones, maybe the next generation that's coming along. This would be a really good idea. And if you have to make readjustments in your investments, this would be a good time to do that, because it's easy come, easy go. If you have any debt, you ought to get rid of it right now, Taurus, while you can. So I hope you do. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini. Well, Gemini, that Pluto in Aquarius, which is squaring all the planets under the Taurus new moon today, is actually trining your sun, which is good for you, because that Pluto is retrograde right now, meaning that people in upper management are sort of rethinking how they're putting their management teams together in order to make more progress with their own future plans. And that could be because the costs are so high, or it could be because there have been things that they've had to spend a lot of money on recently and they can't keep doing it. And so, plans need to change. And their plans could include you, Gemini, or Libra. And the reason why is that Pluto is trining your sun, which is good. You could even be called back to a job you've had before. Or you could be, you may have compiled enough really good job skills that people in authority may come after you, Gemini, and say, hey, would you like to help us with our future plans? Based on your former skills. Maybe they're looking for people that have skills like you, Gemini. So that could happen. And the reason why it could happen, Gemini, is because this is when the Taurus new moon is hitting in May, and it's a great new moon today. But on the 26th of May, which is coming right up, Jupiter leaves Taurus. It's been there for a year. It won't be there for another 12 years. And it's coming into your sign. And that's why if you hear of anybody who's in a position of authority and is wanting to talk to you about something and has noticed that you have skills that could be of value to them in their future plans, I would not turn that invitation down, Gemini. It doesn't hurt to talk. You could have other things going on in your life, but for sure, when Jupiter comes into your sign at the end of the month and stays there for a year, that is going to open up a lot of opportunities for you. And even now, one could be underway, might be just in the talking stages, but I think you should listen. Because you're going to have a lot of opportunities, but you have to get out and mix and mingle as well. So I hope you do that. And you have so many good planets in Taurus right behind your sun sign that you could be experiencing rather good fortune behind the scenes. And maybe a lot of people wouldn't know about it, but there could be more money behind the scenes for you, Gemini. And that would be great. Because all those good planets in Taurus are going to come into your sign next. So think about it. I think the future's looking better. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Cancer. This is a time, Cancer, when I think that it pays you to be pretty careful about who you listen to right now. And the reason why is that Mars is in Aries, along with Mercury, the planet of communication and thought, and they are squaring your sun sign, and they're very powerful because Mars rules Aries. And so there can be somebody coming along in your life, Cancer, right now that wants to be boss. They may be jealous or envious of your own good fortune or of what your future plans will be, and they are deciding they want to tell you what to do. Or they're making the rules. They're just their own rules. They may not be anybody else's rules, but they're deciding to do that. And so they may be trying to delay or postpone whatever your plans are at the moment. And I would say that you should not listen to them at all, Cancer. And the reason why is that your ruler is the moon. And the moon is exalted today, okay, in Taurus. Well, those 5 planets in Taurus all sextile your sun. And the 2 planets in Pisces trine your sun. And that's Neptune and Saturn. And so, believe it or not, you have a lot of strength going for you, Cancer, because the planets in Taurus always sextile the planets in Cancer. That always happens. Well, today that's 5 of the planets. That's half of the planets in the whole universe are sextiling your sun. Think about it. You've got a lot of strength around somewhere, Cancer, more than you realize. It isn't just money, it's strong people that are around you. And then Neptune, which is at the 29th degree of fate and represents a precious dream, at least is trining your sun, and so is Saturn. So an old precious dream of yours, there is the possibility it could wither or die or slip away right now for lack of attention. There are going to be people that are celebrating their good fortune so much that they're not paying attention to what else is going on or what else they care about in their lives. But you could be paying attention to that, Cancer. And in fact, Cancers have tender feelings and soft hearts, and Pisces is sort of known as a soft touch. And Cancers, in other words, you could save a precious dream right now, Cancer. And whatever way you need to accomplish that, you will be able to do it. You will be able to do it. And if it takes extra money, you'll get it in one way or another. And so You know, there's 7 planets just between the 5 in Taurus and the 2 in Pisces. There's 7 planets that are really in good aspect to your sun sign. And there's only 2 that are hurting you, and that's the Mars and the Mercury in Aries, which would denote somebody who's very bossy or jealous or wants to stop something that you have your heart set on, or someone that you have your heart set on. Don't listen to them, Cancer. You have too much going for you right now. This too is a very good new moon for you because all 5 planets in Taurus are sextiling your sun. And a sextile represents opportunities, and there's 5 planets in Taurus. You're going to have at least 5 opportunities to be able to go forward. And it may be, the advantage may be a financial advantage for you in that. And that may allow you to save a precious dream. So don't give up on anything right now, Cancer, and really don't listen to somebody who's creating problems for you or is acting out of their own arrogance. You know, arrogance is the sign of stupidity. People who are arrogant have the answer to everything, and they won't listen to anybody else. They're just going to pound their ideas into people. So don't be a punching bag right now, Cancer. Just step back. You don't need to. You got a lot of things, good things going for you, including the ability to save a precious dream if you want to. And I'd sure do it. This is the right time for you to step in and do it. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, remember I said that the show is titled Easy Come, Easy Go, because one big problem is that there are 6 planets in the fixed signs, and they're all squaring or opposing the other fixed signs, and that includes your sign, Leo. And so, yes, Mars and Mercury in Aries are trining your sun, which means you may be attracted to somebody who's sort of bossy or wants to get something started or says, come on, let's go do this. You could be listening to whatever they want to do. Now, you ought to ask yourself if it's a team effort or if they just want to call all the shots themselves. Because if it's not a team effort, I'd skip it if I were you, Leo, because what's the advantage for you? It might be that they're thinking of all the advantages that will do them some good, including you working for them. Well, think about that a little bit, Leo, because they could have a really good idea, but you would have to carefully consider it first to make sure that that the terms are fair. In the meantime, you've got troubles of your own, and that is because Pluto in Aquarius is opposing your sun, and it has now gone retrograde, and that means that people in upper management are rethinking their plans about the future, and that means they're rethinking who's going to be managing those plans as well, and it may not be you, Leo. And also, your sun rules gambling, and so gambles are not going to pay off, and in fact, this is a time when all bets are off. So Leos, your ruler is the sun, but your own ruler is squaring your sun because Venus and the sun and the exalted moon and Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, all 5 of them are squaring your sun, Leo. And so if you are in any controversy about money, you've got to settle it and get out of it because you are in what you might call a losing position, and with 6 planets squaring and opposing your sun sign. And so one good thing that you could think about is moving on. And in other words, if you're in a sort of a tight spot right now, well, what good is it going to do you to stay there? None. So try to think of getting out of something and going in a different direction. Or even if you just took a vacation now, that might help you a little bit, but the problem is that your costs could be pretty high right now, Leo. You need to try to get them down. If your debts are high, you've got to sell something at least to sort of pay off the debts, because debt can sink everybody right now. And if there are people that are wanting you to do everything for them, like you're their servant, why don't you think that over, Leo? That's not very flattering. Leos like to be captain of the team. And so right now, I think it would be best if you sort of shut down a little bit and tried to just focus on your own problems and how to solve them. Because I don't think anybody else is going to solve your problems for you, Leo. You're going to have to do it yourself. And yours is a fixed sign. And so you can just dig in and just say, well, I won't do this and I won't do that. And you could get real stubborn about something. Well, how deeply do you want to dig your own hole? Because that's only going to make you sink. And so I think that you need to quietly withdraw from some things and try to go in a new direction. That Mars and Mercury in Aries are trining your sun. They're the only two planets in the heavens that are supporting your sun sign right now, Leo. And you've got 6 that aren't supporting your sun sign at all. And so that's pointing the way for you to make a new start somewhere else. Or with someone else. Or just, you need to leave the past behind, Leo, and go off in a new direction. So if I were you, Leo, I would just say, well, what do you want to do? Well, okay, go do it. You might love it. And so just give it a try. You have nothing to lose. And also that solar eclipse, which is the only eclipse in a fire sign this year, was in Aries, trining your sun. Don't fight yesterday's battles, Leo. It's a waste of time. It's only going to make you sink further. It's going to prevent you from making a new start when actually you're expected to succeed at that. So, open the door to a new world for yourself and just walk right through it, Leo. You will be so glad you did. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time, Virgo, when there aren't any planets in your sign or in Capricorn, but oh, Virgo, what you have trining your sun, you are so lucky. It is Venus today conjuncting the lights, the sun, and an exalted moon in Taurus, and Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus as well. All 5 of those planets are conjuncting some other planets because the Venus, the sun, and the moon are conjuncting, and then Jupiter and Uranus are conjuncting, and all of them are trining your sun. So, Virgo, there's more money coming your way somehow, or there are financial benefits coming your way, or if nothing else, you could go out and enjoy gourmet food and wine and be able to pay for it, or take an expensive trip, or buy yourself something that's custom made. You could afford it, Virgo. And maybe you should. Because in a way, if you're spending a little bit of money right now, it's like you'd be patting yourself on the back. And Virgos hardly ever do that. In fact, they never think they're perfect. They never think they've done things really well. But it looks to me, with 5 planets trining your sun right now, Virgo, that there are some other people that would disagree with that. They think you've done a fine job. And this is the time when you could get a reward for that. And, I have a feeling that it's something that has been done over time. It isn't just one job. You may have been sort of the right person in the right place to have solved a number of problems in the past, and maybe there's a reward for that now. But whatever it is, or if you're deciding to end a job or to retire, there can be sort of a handsome reward for that, Virgo. So whatever you're about to enjoy, you probably have earned. And if you give yourself a little pat on the back, it would simply be the same thing that other people are doing to you too. Because they want to show that they appreciate you. And I think they will right now. So if I were you, I would sort of sit back and enjoy it, Virgo. I know yours is the sign of modesty, but this is a time when others are trying to tell you that they appreciate you, and the least you can do is stand up and say thank you. It's like, thank you for the recognition. And it's well deserved. So don't be shy. Stand up and acknowledge your good fortune because you earned it. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, you know, Libra, just like Cancer, you got to sort of watch out for whoever wants to boss you around right now, or take over in some way, or people who could just be jealous or envious of your good fortune. And the reason why is because Mars and Mercury are in Aries, and they are opposing your sun sign. And so that means that somebody who may not be too close to you, they might be at a distance, and they could sort of want to be able to stab you in the back one way or another, or at least tell you what to do according to their terms and what they want. And your sign rules partnership. Okay, so they don't have a partnership attitude right now, Libra. And so I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time listening to them. There wouldn't be anything in it for you. They may want something from you, but they're not offering to give you anything in return for it. They just want it. And so that's called greed, Libra. And there's somebody around you that really has got a lot of greed on their mind, and you could be their target right now. Because Mars, that's one thing Mars rules, and Mars is opposing your sun sign. And so you have to be a little bit careful. If I were you, Libra, I'd play a waiting game. Sort of put them off. Don't listen to them. Be too busy. Get out of town if you have to. And the reason why, Libra, is that your good fortune is on the horizon, and it's the near horizon. And it's this month. And the reason why is that right now, Pluto in Aquarius, which is retrograde, is trining your sun. And it means that people in upper management who have their future projects on their mind are somewhat attracted to you because they know they have to change management. It isn't that former managers are not talented, it's that they may not have the skill set that is required for future projects. And so management has to change. And there can also be a cost-cutting benefit to that as well. And everybody has to watch their money as costs rise right now, and so does debt. And so those are considerations as well. But Pluto is trining your sun right now. And if people are changing their minds and they are thinking that you have talent that they need, they could be wanting to contact you. And I hope that you're ready to listen to people who have good ideas. Not the ones that are just wanting to use you in one way or another, but ones that are asking or offering something in return for you joining a team or something like that, but under fair terms. And then your good fortune is almost on your doorstep, Libra, and the reason why is that Jupiter is going to leave Taurus in about 3 weeks. On the 26th, and this is the 8th. Okay, so it's less than that. But Jupiter is going to leave Taurus, and it will go into Gemini, and it will be trining your sun for a whole year. And that is going to make you real happy, Libra. And it's going to make you do more creative things. And it could bring you more compatible relationships with Jupiter there. And you could be working with young people, or you could be working on temporary projects or part-time projects. So you could, somewhere between this summer and next summer, you could be working on 2 things at the same time and love them both. And so that good fortune is just about to come your way. And so try to stay away from people who want to use you or are angry or want to tell you what to do in one way or another. They are not partnership oriented, and you can tell it just by their own arrogance and their own demands, which would be somewhat overblown right now and not worth listening to anyway. So just remember, you got good things coming your way, Libra. If I were you, I'd spend a little quiet time getting ready for them. You know, it could be not just good fortune or better opportunities, but love could be on your horizon, Libra. That could happen too. Because after Venus leaves Taurus, it is going to go into Gemini as well. And in fact, the new moon in Gemini, about a month from now, has, I think, still 5 planets in it. And they'll all be trining your sun, Libra. So you have better things to do than listen to people that do not have your best interests at heart. So tune them out. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, Yours is a fixed sign. And so Scorpio, the show is titled Easy Come, Easy Go. One thing that could be troubling you right now are financial problems. And that could particularly be the high cost of anything right now. And that is because Venus, the Sun, the exalted moon, Jupiter, and Uranus are all opposing your Sun, Scorpio. That's 5 planets right there. That's heavy duty. And then Pluto in Aquarius is squaring your Sun. And that's your own ruler. And it's retrograde. And so Scorpio, there's definitely going to be a demand for more money right now, or else your costs are going to be higher, or the amount of debt you carry could be somewhat prohibitive, and perhaps you would want to sell something in order to decrease your debt in one way or another, or else you're just going to have to cut costs. And Scorpio rules money management. And so Scorpios are very good money managers. And so they are good at cutting costs. You can do that, Scorpio. But I think that the pressure is on you right now with these 6 planets in fixed signs all squaring and opposing your Sun. You're really going to have to sort of shrink your budget a little bit. At the same time, believe it or not, with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces and Saturn being in Pisces, and both those planets being direct right now, and the 29th is the degree of fate, Scorpio, you would still be able to save a precious dream behind the scenes. And it would be something that had been sort of secretly in your heart for many, many, many years. Saturn is there. And so it can be that you didn't have faith in a dream enough to really concentrate on it. See, what I mean by easy come, easy go is that as people are enjoying the good life and all their rewards for their hard work, they could be neglecting something as precious as a dream, even a secret dream behind the scenes. And so it would wither and slip away. But your sign and the sign of Cancer are 2 signs that could save that dream if they wanted to. I would concentrate on that pretty carefully right now, Scorpio, because Neptune is at the 29th degree. It doesn't have any more room to move in the sign. It's going to go retrograde for a while, but it's heading out. And it'll be gone by next March. And so will your dream. And you can't afford to wait till the last minute, because this is the last minute. The 29th degree, there's no more room in the sign. And so it would be a precious dream that would be so precious, it would be like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. A very good thing. But it's not like there would be a substitute for it, or that there would be some other chance for it. No. And if you have grown so used to just keeping it inside of you and never doing anything about it, then your money problems are the least of your worries. Because if you lose your precious dream, your heart's going to break in a million pieces. Because Scorpio rules death, and Scorpios really can't ever get over the death of a loved one. And so I don't think you'd be able to get over the death of your own precious dream. And I don't mean that the person that's involved dies. I mean that your chance to make it come true is getting pretty close to the end. And if you miss this last chance to do it, you may never recover from that. You may regret that your whole life long, because it would have been something you'd had in your heart for so long, even if you never told anybody. So be careful. It isn't just your money problems or the high cost of living. You can handle that, Scorpio. You're really good at managing money. And it doesn't mean that you even have to have a lot. You're really good at managing even a little bit of money. Or in shrinking your budget when you have to. Or making it stretch. Scorpios are really good at that. But losing a precious dream, that would cost you. And you couldn't manage that again. So be careful, Scorpio. You know, it's not everything in the outside world that keeps us going. It's what's in our heart that keeps us going. Just remember that. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius. This is a time, Sagittarius, when somebody could come along right now and sort of light a fire under you and say, come on, let's go do something. You should say yes, Sagittarius. And the reason why is because there are 2 planets that are trining your sun, and boy, are they strong right now. Mars is in Aries, which it rules, and that's new beginnings, where we just had a solar eclipse. And then Mercury is direct in Aries, and so that can denote somebody who's really fired up right now and wants to go do something. But those 2 planets trine your sun, Sagittarius. Good for you, because your sign loves to travel. So there could be somebody that's saying, come on, let's go take a trip. And you should do it. It also can be that they want you to be involved in something new that involves things that you're interested in, which could be higher education, or it could be international people from foreign countries, or international law, or it could be travel. Sagittarians have a wonderful sense of direction. It's like they're never lost. Even when they don't quite know where they're going, they find their way. It's amazing. I don't know how they do it, but they're very good at, being able to travel forward. And so this is a good time for you to do that. And that is because Neptune and Saturn in Pisces are still squaring your sun. They've been doing that for a while. Neptune's going to go, Saturn might even stay there a little bit longer than Neptune. But there can be something behind the scenes that is sort of holding you back from doing your best. It could be a sadness that you have experienced in the last year or 2, and it could be something, or a disappointment, or a letdown of some sort, and you may have not discussed that with too many people. But, they say time heals everything. Well, as time goes on, you just cannot sit on the shelf and not live your life, Sagittarius. You have to go on. And there was just the only solar eclipse all year was in Aries, trining your sun. You are aspected to start something new. And I would say, don't aim low, Sagittarius. Aim high. You may as well. What have you got to lose? And if one door closes, just open another one. Except that I have a feeling, Sagittarius, that somebody wants to open a door for you. In other words, they want you to do something. It may be to follow an idea of theirs, or it may be that they just want you to go do something with them. And I think you should say yes, Sagittarius. You have nothing to lose. What good is it to sit at home? Nothing. Sagittarians, it's a fire sign. Fire signs like to be on the go. And so you have 2 great planets in Aries trining your sun. You should get up and get going, Sagittarius. And if you say, oh, gee, I'm worried about something, or I don't feel like it right now, or you could make a million excuses. But yours is an intellectual sign. Sagittarians are always thinking about something. They're always wondering. They keep up on all the news. And so mentally you have not slowed down at all, Sagittarius. And so you just got to keep going. And if somebody comes along and says, hey, let's do it together, well, say yes and get going. You won't regret it at all. And just remember, if you try something and you don't like it, well, you could turn around and try something else. But the point is that you would be going forward. And this is a very good time in your life to do that. And so I would do that if I were you, Sagittarius. And even if you say, oh, gee, I don't have the strength to do anything but take baby steps. Okay, then take a lot of baby steps. But get going while you can. While you have an opportunity somewhere around to do that. There are doors that will open. All you have to do is knock. So I hope you do. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time, Capricorn, when there's got to be some money or some additional benefits coming your way, because there are 5 planets today in Taurus trining your sun. Venus and the sun and the exalted moon and Jupiter and Uranus are all trining your sun today, Capricorn. So you should be getting some good news about your investments, or if you've been working really hard on something in your career, maybe as you're looking at your pension plans or your retirement plans, you could be getting some good news about those. And so that would be great. Even if there were changes in the fluctuation of your investments, perhaps somebody is handling them to your advantage and, adjusting your assets so that they will increase. And you could get some good news about that, Capricorn. Or there is the possibility, Capricorn, that you are deciding, if you are retired already, that you would want to take on some additional work or a hobby that you are very serious about that could actually turn into something profitable eventually. And so I don't think you're wasting your time at all right now, Capricorn. Whatever you're thinking of or whatever you're doing, even if it's something that you're just doing for pleasure, I have a feeling that it will also be for profit someday. And you might be closer to that than you realize. When the world is in trouble, which I think it is, financially, okay, too much debt, a lot of people going broke if they're in debt because it's really hard to pay it off because costs are high and inflation is high. But at the same time, there are people that are just going along doing a little bit of something and being very sincere about it, or being very talented in something. It doesn't have to be a big job. It can just be something that they're doing that they are talented in, and the rest of the world can see that now. And so in times of trouble, what do people really want? Well, they don't want a quick fix, or they don't want something that's only going to last a little while and then fall apart. They want the genuine article. When you're in trouble, you really go for the right stuff, or something that is good, or people who are doing a good job. And Capricorns usually do that. They are not flashy. They just keep doing their job. Well, that steadiness is something that the world is lacking right now. And so Capricorn, your own talent, whether it's talent that you've already used in your career, or whether it's talent that you're developing into a new career right now, that talent is worth more than you think right now. And somebody's probably going to pay you pretty good money. You might be shocked, but pretty good money for what you are doing, or what you've already done that has proven your worth. See, Taurus is an expensive sign because it's a financial sign. But all the earth signs value quality, high quality. And I don't think that a Capricorn often thinks of themselves or their efforts as high quality because they're just so busy steadily doing that, whatever it is. But other people can see that. So you may be pleasantly surprised as something that you're doing, even if it's just a hobby, can be worth more than you think right now. And there could be some money coming in for that. So keep going. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius. This is a time, Aquarius, when I think you're having second thoughts somewhere. And it can be that you're having second thoughts about how you're spending your time or what you're doing in your career. And that is because Pluto is in your sign right now, Aquarius, and it is retrograde. And it is squaring all 5 planets under the new moon in Taurus today. So it's squaring Venus, which is an indication of a betrayal somewhere. It's not a betrayal where people hate each other. It's a betrayal that has to do with people picking one lifestyle versus other people having other plans and picking another lifestyle. So that's okay. Everybody has a right to choose how they want to live their life, including you, Aquarius. But since Pluto is retrograde now, you may be rethinking how you spend your time or your money or what you're spending your money on, and sort of trying to rearrange things in a way that will benefit your future plans, because Pluto is in your sign and your sign rules the future. But at the same time, you can be facing money problems because Venus, the Sun, New Moon, Jupiter, and Uranus are all squaring your Sun in Taurus. And so something is pretty high priced. And so either, say you own property, but the taxes are going up. See, costs could be going up. And all the fixed signs are going to get hit with that. You know, all bets are off. So you may have bought a piece of property that you could afford at one time, never thinking that the taxes would rise so much that they're just prohibitive right now. But that could be happening to you, higher costs. And so, Aquarius, you've got to sort of think of, do you want to give up something that's costing you too much right now? Or do you want to maybe take on some sort of part-time job or effort that could bring in a little bit more money, or at least bring in people to help you with a project of yours? Now that is entirely possible, Aquarius, not at the moment, but it's coming right up, because Jupiter is going to leave Taurus by the 26th of this month, and it will go into Gemini and trine that Pluto in your sun sign. So this may be a time, Aquarius, when you're sort of rethinking how you want to manage something, and it can be either your money or a career choice of yours, or even a relationship, and or how you spend your time. You may be wanting to reallocate some things right now in a way that is more agreeable to you and offers you better advantages. You know, there are some people who are already retired, and they may have bought a home at an affordable price in their career, and never realizing that the upkeep and the maintenance and the taxes would just almost bankrupt them. And that can happen to some people right now. And so when Jupiter moves into Gemini and begins to trine your sun, it will give you the opportunity to have new partners. And you could think about that, Aquarius. That would ease your load in one way or another. And believe me, that's coming up by the end of the month. So I would not make a drastic decision right now, but I would begin to focus on new ways of doing things that ease your financial pain a little bit. It's not your fault that there's so many high costs right now, but we all have to figure out what to do about it. And you'll have some good opportunities coming up by the end of the month, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time, Pisces, when it's certainly now or never as far as a precious dream of yours is concerned. And it would be something that would be in sort of your deep heart. And it is because Neptune is at the 29th degree of fate in your sign. And Saturn is in your sign as well, meaning that a precious dream of yours could have suffered a long delay and also some sort of setback. In other words, jealous competition, that could be a setback because Mars had been in your sign recently and Mars rules jealousy. Or it can be that you have not felt as if you were ready to settle on a precious dream because you had the burden of other things on your shoulders or other responsibilities. They even could be other family responsibilities, or they could be other career responsibilities. But you could have felt like, oh gee, there's just so many other things I have to attend to. I can't pay attention to my precious dream. Wake up and smell the coffee, Pisces. Your ruler, Neptune, is at the 29th degree. Okay, so it's leaving. And it's going to go retrograde back just a few degrees, and then it's going to come right back over that 29th degree in March and be gone. And, you just can't wake up on the last day that it's in your sign and say, oh, now I'm going to make that precious dream come true, because it may have slipped away by then. And so your ruler is almost telling you that it's now or never about something that's really important to you. It could be something creative, because Pisces is a very creative sign. But it also has something to do with your feelings about who you care about. And even if you never told anybody about someone that you really cared about, you better do something about either having them in your life now, or perhaps losing them forever. Because when Neptune goes, it's gone. And so is your dream. So you got to sort of latch onto that dream before that happens, Pisces. And I don't think you have a moment to lose. And so I hope you go in that direction, find a way. Pisces are very good. Pisces rules the fogs and the mists. And they have it rules photography. They have a way of saying that they're in one place, but really being in another. And sort of moving around pretty successfully in ways that most people don't even know they're doing. And maybe that's how you're going to make your precious dream come true. But I urge you to do it. You don't have to announce it to the world. You just have to do it. And the precious dream involves someone else. So if I were you, I would get right on it, Pisces, because you would regret it for the rest of your life if you didn't do something now. So I hope you do. All right. And there should be some more money coming to you because those 5 planets in Taurus today all sextile your sun. So good luck. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show on my Karen Campbell YouTube channel, and I'd love to have you tell your friends about that and subscribe. And then you can read the blog on my website, starborninstitute.org, and that always explains the theme of every show a little bit more every week. So until then, I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.